Within our Western culture, we often hear that babies should be sleeping alone and independently from an early age, or even as soon as they are born. This idea of independence and separation goes beyond your baby's biological and attachment needs. However, mainstream society, combined with the prevalent influence of the sleep training industry, continues to push behaviorist myths and inaccuracies regarding infant sleep. Parents are left thinking that there is something wrong with their baby when they don't align with the expectations and standards. The result is unrealistic expectations when it comes to biologically normal infant sleep. The reality is that very few babies sleep through the night at an early age and continue to do so for the majority of their babyhood. Sleep is not linear, and even those babies can experience periods of sleep disruptions. Mainstream sleep training involves behavior-based methods that eliminate the baby signaling to their caregiver but do not provide a long-term solution and can impact the attachment relationship. We are going to be answering the biggest questions in regards to infant sleep and providing you the foundation to truly understand the science and needs behind your baby's sleep, such as, why can't my baby self-soothe? Why doesn't my baby sleep through the night? Why won't my baby fall asleep independently? My baby was sleeping so well but is suddenly waking up more times throughout the night. Why will my baby only sleep in my arms? And more. Let's investigate what is biologically normal infant sleep, stay curious, and consider a holistic approach when making changes around sleep patterns that may no longer work for your family. Sleep is entirely developmental, and infant sleep patterns and circadian rhythms are very different from that of adults. It is also very complex. Biology, cultural expectations, temperament, sleeping arrangements, daytime stress, family interactions, feeding, and nutrition all affect how your baby's sleep develops. You may hear the parental habits or support like rocking, feeding, or generally soothing your baby to sleep will cause sleep problems such as night wakings. Still, this is a gross overgeneralization and in most cases simply inaccurate. Just as infants do not have to be taught to crawl, walk, and a wide range of normal exists to develop these skills, the same is true for sleep. No sleep training is required and self-soothing skills do not need to be taught, and there is literally no research to indicate otherwise. Let's get started. Why won't my baby fall asleep independently or drowsy but awake? It is incredibly normal for babies to need support to fall asleep and sometimes to stay asleep. Most babies need to feel the physical comfort provided by their caregivers so that they can feel relaxed and safe emotionally to allow their bodies to fall asleep. Your baby attaches through the senses in the first year of life, which means they may feel vulnerable if they cannot see, hear, feel, taste, or smell you. This feeling of alarm or vulnerability can prevent their system from falling asleep easily alone. Additionally, when you feed your baby or practice skin-to-skin contact, oxytocin is released. This is the love hormone, and it feels good and makes babies sleepy. The act of rocking, cuddling, being held, or bouncing is also incredibly soothing to babies. The idea of drowsy but awake will not work for the majority of babies, and anyone who implies otherwise sets parents up for failure and unrealistic expectations. You can get your child to sleep without putting them into their sleep space, drowsy but awake, and you will never spoil your baby by allowing them to fall asleep in the warmth, comfort, and safety of your arms or in your presence. A common myth is how a baby falls asleep is how they will expect to be supported to sleep when they wake during the night. For example, if you bounce, nurse, or rock your baby to sleep, they will expect to be bounced, nursed, or rocked to sleep during the night also. Fortunately, this is rarely the case. If you have one and only one sleep association in your toolkit for supporting your child to sleep, you may run into trouble. However, most caregivers utilize various methods to support their little one to sleep. There are so many benefits to having infants sleep close to their caregivers. Their parasympathetic nervous system is activated so that they feel safe. There is no fight, flight, or freeze. They receive multi-sensory input, which helps their developing brains. Oxytocin, the love hormone, which helps promote trust, empathy, and bonding, is stimulated. Their stress response and cortisol levels are regulated. They benefit from emotional contagion, which means they are influenced by their caregiver's relaxed or sleeping body and feel similar feelings. They benefit from the mimicry of breathing and heart rate, and their heart rate is less variable. The brain waves can synchronize between baby and caregiver. Their quiet sleep duration increases as a result also. All of these are significant benefits that should not be ignored. So yes, closeness is an essential part of normal, healthy infant sleep.